know that it's...
So, Pikmin, you want to know who I'm going to try for a guest next week?
Gaijin Goombah.
Oh, yeah. Good guess.
Nice!
Warning! This podcast contains content not suitable for all audiences, may contain mature language, adult themes, and complete insanity. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the CrazyPokeCast. As you know, I'm Death88, because, I host 90% of these things. With me, we have Pikmin Master.
Hello.
We have Pam.
Hi.
And we have our guest, Allochii, which I'll
Hello.
probably mispronounce that 1,000,000,000 times. So I'm going to call her Stephanie. Alright.
Just call me Allie, everybody else does.
Alright, so...
It's Allochii, but Allie will work.
So our guest, Stephanie, brought her own topic. And wrote notes. God, he actually trying what for this podcast.
No, I jotted down notes while I was playing, so...
Alright,
just
why
to
don't you
think of different
introduce the
things.
topic for us?
I'm not going to use any of those notes, by the way. It's just something I've been thinking about lately, especially with recent conversations I've had. You know how Pokemon Bank's not going to be released until December?
Yep. All of us are very upset by this fact.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
you'd think if they would have done it along with the release.
Also upset because we have yet to find a way to farm leftovers.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a big problem. I think there might have been some reasoning behind that, though.
Oh, really?
And I think, now it's just a theory, this is what I like to think. But, okay, Pokemon Bank is not going to be released till December, and, they're withholding information like base stats, and even in their official player's guide, I bought the player's guide, there's nothing like that in there.
Oh, what?
It's just a walk through the story, we need help with that, and that's it.
I heard and apparently in one of the berry pages, there's 14 berries in new regions.
Oh, yeah, I actually just.
I linked that in the chat the other day.
Yeah,
A video by Maryland. I'll link it in the description.
I actually just
One of us will
seen
link it in the description.
I've just seen that this morning. Pretty much my mind blew. I just
Yeah.
Mind blown.
Although, to be honest, the whole time I was faking Ruby Sapphire remake.
All right. So, Stephanie, continue.
Yeah. Well, but basically the only use I've gotten out of that book is the super training and Pokemon Me information and the new type chart. So that's been useful, but I think there's actually a reason behind this. And, well, if you listen to anybody complaining about it, or at least those who I've heard complain about it, they're like, I really miss having this information, but at the same time, I feel like a kid again. I think that was it. I think the people who made this just want us to, chill out and, enjoy the game for what it is.
Although people who know how to calculate all this information, such as Cerebi, has already done so, and we already have all the new base
definitely.
stats.
Of course. Yeah, but, I mean, I think we all just kind of need to remember the reason we like this game in the first place. And not really worry so much about analyzing. And because, in the beginning...
It's fun!
It is fun! No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Absolutely not, no. In the beginning, when we just all we had was the Game Boy games and
All right,
cards and
Just sort of cut off here, since I'm probably the only one here who actually didn't start back in that era. I started in Pokemon Platinum. Very early on, I got introduced to competitive play, or battling friends. And I got trumped a lot, so I started looking up YouTube videos of battles, and I found Prince Boo 21, which is where I started my YouTube career. All links I mention will be in the description. I started watching his PBR videos, which he no longer does, and I started getting interested. So eventually I moved on to Uton, no longer exists. And I've just started getting interested, so I started learning about EV training, and breeding, and natures, and competitive movesets, and eventually started doing it on my own. I started out doing the competitive thing, and that's probably why it became second nature to me, whereas the story mode and the goofing off doesn't interest me as much.
Yeah, I mean, we all came from a different place. I'm just saying, a lot of us who've been with it for a while,
Yes.
but in the beginning we had this community. we all had something we loved about it, even if we don't all play the game. Like, some of us, we had collected the cards, some of us just watched the cartoon. We all had something to talk about. But to me, now it feels like the community's completely divided between competitive and casual, and it's kind of a shame.
There isn't actually a whole... The division very much lies in the battling only, though. Beyond that, people still talk. It's still the same thing. The division happens when a casual wants to try and join the battling space, because it very much is occupied by competitive players. With the PSS, all the casual players can still find other casual players, but it becomes a lot harder, and because they're mixed in and very unobvious from the competitive elite. I'm going to say elite because chances are the competitive players will just squash the casual. I don't actually think competitive is superior. It's just sort of in terms of like power. Pam, if you just said something, none of us heard.
I'll be back.
All right. So,
All right.
So I created a double battle team that's currently missing 2 Pokemon to round out the final edges, which Maslow still has to give me that fucking Pokemon. Anyways, so, I'm a double battler. I'm a rare breed. People rarely double battle in comparison to single.
True.
Like, to find double battles, you have to find somebody who's willing to either put their single battle team in a double battle or also has a double battle team. And I've built my teams to be able to stand alone in a single battle, but they don't function as well. They're meant to stand together with a certain Pokemon or be capable of standing alongside the other Pokemon to protect it.
It's kind of funny that one of my teams is actually I made one of my Wi-Fi team to put for PBR that I intentionally made it single battle. However, when I accidentally made it double battle, it somehow ended up being good at double battle team.
A lot of single battle teams can function in double battle. They're just a lot. It's a lot different. All right, so double battles teams work in single battle, no problem. They function. Just like single battles can function in double battle. Triple battle and rotation, just forget about it. It's a whole nother can of worms that you have to
I don't want to touch it.
Yeah, I don't understand them. I thought I'd be like, I'll be that guy who understands them. Nope.
I want nothing to do with it.
No. Double battle, it's about finding a way for the Pokemon to work in tandem. For example, my Sylveon and my Hitmonlee function in tandem, one being a bulky Pokemon that can protect itself, the other being a sweeper. Both of them have set-up moves that can be used as sort of... Damn it, Pam. So
It's my mom, okay?
you have Echo. Again.
Hey, well, I had
Whatever.
to...
Shh. I'm talking.
No, that's in a nutshell.
Alright, so basically, my Hitmonlee, it runs bulk up to buff itself if I feel that it's not going to be targeted or it'll live the attack, and will be able to get an attack off next turn. Because if it can kill off a Pokemon in double battle, it's great. Or if I feel my Sylveon will be able to survive and take them out for it. Having a backup Pokemon is great. Because it's a whole different mindset. And designing your Pokemon around having 2 Pokemon in the field makes it a little easier and way harder.
Okay.
Oh.
I mean, like, all the time you're thinking I'm thinking of rotation battle, which is actually kind of a similar idea, except you're battling with only one Pokemon, so you got 3 Pokemon in the field, so you're not entirely sure what to use.
Rotation's so confusing, because, you can,
to me, I feel like rotation battles actually feels right at home, which it's basically single battle, single battle, but with a lot more depth. Definitely like the kind of depth I actually enjoy in a battle, and I'm pretty sure Naguna the same thing. If he shows up, he'll probably agree that he actually enjoys rotation battle.
But those are rare breeds to participate in rotation.
Yes.
Just like I'm a rare breed of double battle. If you look in our group, we have you and Ninguno, who are rotation. Me and Connor, who that video's gone up, I believe. Has it? No, that's this week. It goes up. Or does it? I don't remember. Whatever. Anyway, so you have me and Connor, who are double battle maniacs, and everybody else here is a single battler. So just looking at the group alone,
sometimes I'm double, but
you suck at double.
Yeah.
Actually, I suck more at single battles.
Yeah.
So you just suck at Pokemon.
No, I don't.
God.
Shut up.
Well, what I was trying to say is, like, no one style is the right way to play. Really, like, it's awesome that people out there, like, well, I'm not. I say people. I've done breeding and EV training myself, and I like doing it. But keep doing what you're doing. I love that. But like, I don't know. I just wish there were more places where, like, the two sides could come together a little bit, where, a casual player could get just as much enjoyment out of something as the competitive could.
And that's where super training comes in.
That's why super training was invented, to sort of give the casuals a way of entering the same field.
Super training. As we speak, I'm already doing super training.
Yeah, you can do it in the background without even knowing it. EV training doesn't have to be something that's long and short. I explained it to a friend in the greatest details, giving him the history lesson. And when I explained how easy the current day one was, he was like, oh, I should be doing that. And it's like, I explained the pros, the cons of doing it and not doing it. And overall, there's not a huge lot of difference. A story team can function just as well as a proper competitive battle. It'll be a little rougher, but you can function. As long as you remove these crappy HMs.
Right. That's really why I love X and Y, because it's bringing different kinds of fans together, whether they're like competitive or Gen 1ers or anything. Everybody has something to enjoy about this.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just wish we could get more out of that, because I'm tired of scaring casual players away.
Yeah. A friend of ours, Gaijin Goombah, he wanted to participate in he wanted to build a team, and we tried to help him a little, and, as we showed him, we realized very quickly he wasn't interested in that, and it was very odd. For me, it was very odd, because I'd never seen that before. It was a first time for me to see a casual player, and I don't mean disrespect to him. I respect the guy immensely, and hopefully I'm not insulting him so he doesn't show up on the show eventually. But anyways, so the point is, like, he wants to play casually, which, as I think about it, it's like, well, he made a good point. Why can't we just be, this Pokemon's strong against this Pokemon wins? It's like, well, if you switch out, you don't get damaged. And it's like, wait, that's where competitive starts coming in. And it's like, my competitive thoughts start taking over when I hear stuff like that. It's like, well, this, and this reason. And Mazlo's finally back. It only took him an hour and a half.
Yeah.
For those wondering, we've been trying to record for an hour and a half. We only have been recording for probably like half an hour at this point. So he may or may not join. He knows enough.
Go on, though.
So, to sort of continue, I feel that we need to sort of figure out how to make competitive battle not seem as as much of a time sink as it truly is.
I don't know. I just want the community to be less divided,
That's the thing is,
it doesn't feel divided on, like, the competitive side, but to a casual player, I don't know. Like, I'm starting to become more and more casual as time goes on, and I can see how some of them would feel like there's really no place for them anymore, like, because the game's just changed too much. It's a shame.
You can, like, any Pokemon in competitive battle can work. The more you know about the competitive side, the more you can make it work. It's knowing where it can fit on the team, building the team around maybe that Pokemon. But it's a lot of work. There's the option of bugging your competitive friends to build the team, but
yeah,
there's people out there that don't want it.
True.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways to enjoy this game, and it's hard to remember that sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that option. One thing I think is like the big thing with competitive battling for a lot of people is like when you competitive battle, your mindset has become altered completely. Even in story mode, you act different. You function different. You find it very difficult to make calm-in-place mistakes. Like, I find it very difficult to run Surf and Waterfall on a water type because that's dumb. I should put another type coverage move on it. And it's like, well, no, I need the HMs.
Yeah, I mean, for example, I'm actually battling a trainer now. I'm using my Hone Edge. Like, my Hone Edge has 4 attacks. However, if I were to, do it in an actual competitor, I might not need to run Swords Dance, or might need to run some of the move.
You might want to put the Protect version of...
Or the Protect... Oh, yeah, the Protect version, yeah. However, I can't just run 4 random attacks. I have to figure out a reason for why I have to run this move.
Yeah,
yeah. Remember when we were kids, we had the attacks that do stuff, and then the attacks that don't do anything, like Sand Attack, and they don't do anything.
Yeah, Sand Attack banned in proper play because you're not allowed to.
No, I mean, okay, I gave my nephew my gold version to play once because he had never actually played through the games. He just collected the cards and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And he kept using String Shot because he'd caught a Caterpie, and he's like, nothing's happening. It didn't do anything. I tried to explain to him, no, it did do something. It lowered his speed. But because he didn't see any damage happening, he thought it just didn't do anything.
That's
Lear.
Also, don't forget, a lot of these days, people want instant results. Like, they don't... Pokemon battling, it was always designed with the idea of very competitive battling and trading. It had those 2 mechanics always in mind. That was the key design, and it's always been. Competitive battling is basically the evolution of it. If the games themselves were Pokemon, it would start off with Gen 1 being sort of the baby Pokemon. And, you start off, you just battle, and you hope for instant results. Mm-hmm. Then it would be Gen 2, where natures and EVs become more prominent. Then its next form would be 3, 4, 5, where battling starts taking its competitive roots. And then I'd say Gen 6 is its mega evolution, where competitive play has become so accessible. It's become basically, you must do this or you are screwed. Unfortunately, that's the case, and there is no going back. This mega evolution is permanent. And there's only one more way to go, and there's one more way to go, which is breed another Pokemon with better stats.
Yeah, Matzel just did that on me in that he bred a whole bunch of Greninja, and then we said, you know what, I'll just give one to Pikmin because, okay, as I'm not gonna use it anymore.
Yeah, I have all the starters. People just gave them away on Wonder Trade. Yeah. Hell, that's why I got my Eevee and a lot of Pokemon. It's like, since they have Wonder Trade, why not just have the starters out in the wild? Just save the middleman. It just saves the middleman of me having to have to go out and find it. Maybe if I pick one starter, it's not available in the wild. I'm good with that. Or maybe certain things aren't available. Maybe one of the starters at random is not available in the wild. What the hell did you do?
Alright, never mind. I dropped an orange. I just some apple juice on the floor.
GG.
I don't know. I guess the fact that you say that there's no going back is kind of my problem with it. I mean, I completely understand what you're talking about, and I think competitive battling is fine. But I don't know. We need to make more room for people who play in different ways, just so we can all get the same enjoyment out of it.
I'm getting that, and I think with Pixelmon, that was sort of where it came in. You didn't need to be competitive because there was no way to. You could pick moves and stuff, and hope your Pokemon was strong enough, but there's no EVs or IVs or natures built into that game yet. Hell, some of the moves don't even work right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it was kind of refreshing for me.
That may have been where it started for you, is back when we were playing Pixelmon, which we still got to go and start working on more.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things to work on and think about and whatnot. There's lots of things.
It's easier to put a personal touch on it without it coming around to bite you in the butt.
With this system of the PSS, it became much easier to challenge people at random. You build your team, you battle. If the person's unlucky and they're going through the story and accept, they're screwed. If they're past the story and they have a built team too, it's good to go. Soon enough, it will be the entire PSS will be dominated by a lot of battle requests. I've made a bet with a few people that before the end of this year, you will be getting probably a battle request a day if you're set to online.
You don't have the right team.
That's why I'm starting to work on my battle team now. One of my battle teams now. Well,
I do like that these games are really more centered around bringing people together, and I guess that's part of what I'm trying to say. But
I've been
it's
saying
not only that,
but it needs to be an MMO and cut out the middleman.
Well, I mean, it's not just the games; it's the community. Because a lot of the community, like forums and stuff, are mostly catered to competitive, and I don't know if casual players could get the same amount of enjoyment out of the online community, I think it'd be a lot better for everybody.
People get a lot out of these Pokemon games. To take Gaijin Goombah's wife, Akitera, for an example, she's basically just been playing Pokemon on me. Which is fine.
I love
So
that.
that's fine.
You can play through the story. You can
Ami is awesome.
go and fill the Pokedex. This game said it itself. Whatever you feel your destiny is, go for it. You want to fill the Pokedex? Go ahead. You want to be a competitive battler? Go ahead.
Yeah, I recently restarted it, and I read through that like 3 times, and I was like, wow, that's exactly what I've been thinking.
I've said this for a bit now. Everything's in the hands of whoever holds the game. Monster Hunter, you don't have to go and harm monsters. I've seen people run through the entire game and they're getting equipment. They bring along friends that basically cover their butt, but they just run around and getting equipment, because why the hell not?
Yeah.
Hell, back when I used to play with Gaijin, he ran around in bowgun armor. I don't even know if it was high rank or not. He never got hit. He was good. I miss playing with him.
Except with me accidentally hitting him.
Yeah, that you were the cause of most of his demise.
Because I was bad at gun lance.
But yeah,
I still don't know how to fight gun lances, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, don't let Pam ever be in your party while she has one.
I'll just stick with my switch axe when I'm with you guys.
You'd be safer without a weapon, but whatever.
But I guess my original point, do you guys don't think that, the delayed release and the giving us no information kind of seems to come together like that?
It comes together that there's nice job. Very professional.
Hopefully nobody calls me.
Turn off your mic or something if you're going to answer a call. So,
Alright, I'm coming.
it looks like
I want to go play Pokemon Me, anyway.
Alright, so I feel that they're doing this on purpose because there's going to be more games released over a very short period of time. I think they're going to be releasing like a ton of Pokemon games, or they're going to be releasing region DLC.
Region DLC.
Free region DLC.
I
guess
retweeted
DLC
something
might
like that
be a
earlier.
good idea for Pokemon, because so you can actually constantly update your game, not necessarily have to buy yourself new games every single time.
Well,
We should probably explain it for anybody listening who hasn't seen that yet. Because it was one of the characters in one of the hotels, wasn't it, that was alluding to that?
Yeah, he gave you the souvenir. There's so many things. There's a video that we'll link that basically helps corroborate our theory. That will be in the description for sure. It's from Maryland and it explains it better than we could ever try. But yeah, there's always stuff like that. I feel that they're going to be doing something very different with this generation, and nobody's going to see it coming. So I'm trying to be that guy, and I'm going to figure it out.
It does seem like they're planning something.
And I can't wait to see what it is.
I guess it may have something to do with the data. Someone's going to actually data mine the game
I wonder if that's why we can't get many leftovers, is because they're doing something like that where it's maybe in a different you have to travel to a different region to acquire them. That would suck because I need them now. I don't feel like having somebody go with the other game farm them for me.
But now by leftovers, you mean the item?
Yes.
Oh.
You can't acquire more than one currently.
Oh, okay.
Unless apparently, so from what I've heard is if you don't capture the Snorlax, there's a way to farm them, but there's no proof one way or the other. Which is the annoying thing, is like, I'd much rather everything be in one solid game, and that's because I'm a competitive player. I want things to be grabbable. I don't want it to be like, oh, I gotta wait now. It's like, I don't want to wait. I want to friggin' start battling. We're supposed to have a league eventually, and none of us have enough leftovers to start. My team's almost done, meaning I can start my league challenge whenever, but I'm pretty up there.
Yeah, for me, I'm not gonna even bother with competitive battle until I'm done with the game.
Yeah, Pigman's not even done with the game.
Yeah.
For those
for those who know, I've just obtained it yesterday being the 22nd, and right now I'm just enjoying the game as it is, without no speed running, no getting all the Pokedex, just going as I go.
I didn't even turn on the experience share. I just wanted to slow down. Everybody was in such a rush when it was released. I just wanted to slow down and enjoy it.
I found if I turned off the game was designed with the experience share in mind, though. It was built very much that the experience you'd be given is the requirement for how to get to the next spot.
That's exactly why I turned it off, though, because it gave me more of a... It was more like a difficulty.
So you have to sit down and grind? Or
no,
level?
No, whenever I needed to grind, like, before a gym leader, then I would turn it on. But for, like, on the, like, progressing, I wouldn't be, like, 10 levels higher than everybody.
I don't know. When I went through, I was the exact level I needed to be. At the Elite Four, I had a bit of trouble at first, but I ended up pulling through, and then went in again, and I dominated. To me, it's like I'm just trying to get to the competitive part. After I beat the game, I went and grabbed all the TMs, the legendaries, and the Mega Stones, and I called it a day. I still haven't even done that Looker side quest that I apparently should be doing. Like, I'm a big fan of doing the competitive battling because that's where I have fun. And
it's fun. Sorry.
Yeah.
Like, there's other things too. Like my friend Chibi Nicodemics, he's recently started getting more into the competitive play and wants to do a mono water team. And that's the big thing, is like a lot of these casuals all these casual players that want to start trying to learn the competitive play, or at least be able to put their foot in, they're starting off with a very large challenge. Having a mono-type team requires planning, knowledge beyond that of any one beyond that of like somebody who hasn't done it a long time. I can run mono Pichu, but I've played long enough that it works, and probably only in
I practically used to mono-type teams.
Yeah, a few of us here ran them.
Yeah, mono Charizard for the win.
Am's also just crazy, so.
Okay. Shut up. I know.
There's lots of options and whatnot. So, I don't know.
Mind if I ask a question or so?
Yeah.
Unless anybody else had something to say about that?
Nope, feel free to ask.
Alright. Okay. What I'd like to know is, this is based on my own experience, were there any particular Pokemon that, while you were going through the game for the first or only time, did they really caught you by surprise, like, really, like, caught you off guard just from the design, or, like, you caught it and you didn't expect it to be as good as you did, or didn't expect to like it as much as you did, or...
That's Vespiquen. No, because seriously, like, when I started this game, I had this Vespiquen, and then just helped me out with bulking it, being the tank, being a tank out of a team made for being tanks.
It doesn't look like it would be, does it?
I mean, like, I would never like Vespiquen, and yet, well, I'm not using it now, but it is actually really interesting. Like, right now, for me, I actually do really enjoy the crowd of Honedge more than I initially thought.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
100's design as it is, but dang, is it really helpful?
Yeah. A lot of Pokemon were like interesting. For me, I pretty much knew what I was getting into. A lot of us, because of what we are, we speculate, we release facts, we do a whole bunch of everything. We looked at a lot of the leaks, and I wasn't too surprised by a lot of them. You know, as somebody, I tried to keep this cast neutral, so we're skeptical of a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And I try to raise everybody in this cast to follow that ideals. And so the entire time I was going, yeah, this probably fake. And I was able to deduce why. And it was interesting to see them real. My favorite thing was seeing Pangoro just in the game. Like when I finally evolved Pancham, just seeing Pangoro, it was just like, yeah. I haven't raised the competitive one just because I don't know. I just don't feel like I want to raise a competitive one right now, but I probably will in the future.
Okay.
Just for anybody wondering.
Well,
Okay.
Well, at least I'm kind of glad that Inkay doesn't evolve into Malamar right away. Because I remember in a really early speculation that, because there's a Pokemon evolved by turning 3DS upside down. Nobody would suspect you had to level up to a certain level first. So people were thinking, wait, so I could just turn 3DS upside down, level up, and I could probably get Malamar level 2. But
nope.
No,
level
it's not like that. You have to make it level 30. So that's something I'm actually glad. So at least I could keep my Inkay for a while.
The one thing that bugged me was evolving Pancham. I had to go out of my way and spend a bit of time grinding him up to make him slightly more powerful, just to evolve him. Because you had to sit there and make sure you had a dark type in your party, which I didn't actually naturally have one, just to evolve him. So I had to go put an Inkay in my party, sit and grind up. Then I had to take it out and put the real Pokemon back in my party, and then went on with my quest. And that kind of annoyed me.
Well, for me it was one that I actually didn't expect to like as much as I did. Klefki.
That one's kind of cool, but its stats actually aren't that bad.
Oh yeah, did you see that one video by what's his name, Shofu? I think that some one of it is a friend had a Klefki and that since they can do prankster spikes, it's actually pretty helpful first turn.
Oh yeah, it has the prankster ability, and it can learn spikes, reflect, and light screen. So those go first automatically just from that ability. It has good special defense, and from Steel and Fairy, it gets 9 resistances and 2 immunities.
Yeah, that's great.
Yep.
Oh, neat and mail.
It's not bad, actually.
And those immunities being Poison and Dragon, but it was actually pretty handy. I had one on my team when I beat the game, and it really held its own.
Yeah, there's a lot of Pokemon were kind of interesting. But it's just there's so many Pokemon that it's unbelievable how much you can just do with them. It's you can go and sit down and be like, I like this one and this one and this one.
Well, that's the technical side. The reason I like Klefki is actually not a keyring, which is probably why everybody's raging. It's actually this little fairy that goes around stealing people's keys, and I just think that's cute.
I gotta admit that I love some of the new designs of this thing. I can't wait to get myself a Goomy.
Oh, I love Goomy.
It's adorable. Goomy. Yes,
and
it's adorable.
Yeah, Gudra's actually really nice and bulky, and its ability is great. Hydration.
Yeah.
It has Sap Sipper too, but get one that's hydration. It's really nice.
I think Sap Sipper might be a better one, but either one works pretty well.
Well, I don't see
Since
anybody
it just
using a
raise
grass.
attack when it gets hit by a grass move, it doesn't really help the special attack, which I think it's better in.
Yeah, and not only that, but you can rest in the rain and heal up, and then wake up right away because hydration cures your status.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that overall I think it'd be kind of interesting to see how people function with certain things. The big thing I'm waiting to see is the reaction of when Pokemon Bank happens. That will truly be when competitive play happens, because right now it's just a lot of people goofing off in it, trying out all the new Pokemon. There's no way to fully build a team.
Honestly, though, I don't see that as a bad thing, because it kind of gave everybody a new perspective on it, which I think a lot of us needed.
I've been trying to build my team out of new and old Pokemon as much as I can, but the thing is, like, I feel that when you try to go backwards when you've been going forwards, it does work, but at the same time, you may be going backwards in the wrong as well as drifting in the wrong direction.
There's really no right direction with this game, though. I don't think.
Yep.
I don't know. Like, I
Wait,
feel the
that-
best direction they could go is MMO.
Well,
I'm just
there's
saying
no one
Nintendo
right direction.
MMO.
I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd be into that, really.
If it was like a free to play MMO, it'd be great.
It would be cool. I'd prefer to see it like the way it is now, but polished up a little bit. Like I said with Pokemon and Me, if they just kind of expanded on that and kind of gave you some kind like more of a Harvest Moon / Animal Crossing, a personal level with it.
I've always thought I liked when
That'd
in
be
Heart
nice.
Gold where you could have your Pokemon along and back with you, but I think it would be kind of cool if like it didn't have to be a party Pokemon, like you just chose the Pokemon walking alongside, and you had 7 Pokemon basically, and you could decide whether or not it's part of the party or not. It's just a tag along Pokemon. That would be kind of cool for me, because like then I could be like, I'm gonna take along this random Rattata for no reason.
Well, like, okay, did anybody here have My Pokemon Ranch for Wii?
No.
Yes.
I did, yes.
Now, imagine if they included elements of that in with it. No, maybe not with the storage aspect, but, you know, it was a kind of game where you could just kind of hang out and goof off and play with your different Pokemon, and I don't know, if they had that along with Pokemon and Me, I think it'd be pretty nice. I don't know. You know, some kind of personal touch that draws you into the game more. Because that's why I love Me so much.
Yeah. I know. I like Pokemon and Me as well, but I really want real life Pokemon, to be perfectly honest. I think at this point, like, I think that's the
But
best.
don't we all?
Just real life Pokemon, just screw it.
Yeah,
I like
because
a
real life-
Me and all. No, I like a Me and all. But doing it with Klefki is really weird. Because, like, my boyfriend comes in, I'm off in a corner, I'm like, shh, I'm petting my keychain. I'm petting my keyring, my precious.
It'd be like with Venalite, you're petting ice cream. Like, why would you pet ice cream?
Well, the one thing I found amusing was when I was playing Pokemon and Me with my Amora. Like, the little like ice bumps on its back actually are ice. If you pet them, your hand freezes.
Oh,
So it's
serious?
like-
Hold on, let me do that.
Charizard's tail burns you.
Yeah, so
Hold on, let me do that. Hold on, let me do that.
yeah,
I'm
so
doing
it's
it right
kind of
now.
cool how they actually implemented stuff like that.
I'm doing that. Let me do that. Hold on. God.
You're gonna go freeze yourself. Congratulations. You is smart.
Touch Pikachu's cheeks while you're at
That
it.
is freaking ice. That is genius.
Yeah, it happens on Aurora. I believe it happens on Aurorus and some other ice types as well.
Oh man.
I think it happens on Carbink as well.
What about freaking Slugma?
You cannot touch Slugma at all.
Like actually,
No, not at all. You touch it at all, it will burn you.
that is awesome.
You can't pet it. You cannot pet it.
So how do you raise its affection? I guess you do the
I'm guessing
faces.
very carefully.
Maybe you have to unlock the infinite heat-resistant gloves. Those don't exist. Don't go looking for them. Somebody out there will. Alright, I think we're getting close to the time limit, so why don't we have some parting thoughts from everybody? Let's start with Pam.
What do I have to do?
Parting thoughts.
For what? X and Y?
Anything?
What we were talking about.
Oh.
Well, I had to step out of a room for like twice because of my parents. I'm sorry.
It's not our fault. What are your parting thoughts on the topic of just competitive, casual, and just Pokemon in general?
Well, I don't know.
Alright, very wise words.
Well, I'm sorry I had to step out of the room. That's why.
Anyways, Pikmin, what are some parting thoughts from you?
Regarding all of this, like, I definitely do see like the disconnect, so to say, between them because to be honest, I've already never really cared about competitive value at all, but I do understand where where the thing goes and that like, oh well, since Pokemon can actually be, you can just play Pokemon as it is, like I want to do right now, or you just take it one step further, or just play it like completely different. So pretty much the way, so much competitive battle for me is an excuse to say Pokemon is not for kids.
Pokemon very much is like you can be anybody and do anything with it. If you want to just play Pokemon on me, just play Pokemon on me. You can basically be Shauna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can be Tyranno and just do nothing, basically.
Yep.
You can be Trevor and fill out your Pokedex, or you can be, what's his name? Or her name. You can be Callum or Serena, depending on the opposite of what you picked, and try to just be as good as you can be. Or you can...
Oh, you know what? I never actually thought about it. What you just said, I've never really thought about it. Like, each character represents a different kind of Pokemon fan base.
Yep, and nobody realized that,
Like,
and I found that very annoying because whenever I point it out to people, that's the exact reaction I get. Alright, so how about some parting thoughts from our guest?
Well, I've already said pretty much what I need to say about it. What would you say to fans who've become disillusioned from the series altogether?
Like ones that maybe because of the competitive they're no longer interested?
Or, even Gen 1ers who decide they don't like anything past Red and Blue.
Gen 1...
Okay, hang on.
Gen 1 is a different
No,
story.
I want to deal with this right now. Gen 1er, you've come to this video and you're ready to troll the crap out of us because you're like, Gen 1's the best.
It is the best.
No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
Besides,
See, like,
guys, if this cat is saying anything, this cat's the well aware Gen 3 is the best.
I am...
no, like, for example, I was in GameStop and I overheard some girl looking at the new game and saying, I don't really like anything past Red and Blue, and I wanted to say something, but,
you just
total stranger.
don't have the guts to say it.
Well, like, what would you say to people like that?
For me, I've seen Gen 1ers, Gen 2ers, 3, 4, 5. Hell, I saw, when I picked up Black originally, there was somebody who was like, oh, that game's so terrible! And was like, just all like that, and it's like, why do you say that? He's like, because Gen 1's the best! This is the closest recreation of the voice I'll possibly ever do, so bear with me. And, just went up to the person, it's like, yeah, so you're telling me a Pokemon ball, its evolution is it turned upside down, stretched, and put a face on it.
Okay, I really didn't mean for this to make fun of Generation 1.
Okay.
I meant, like, would you recommend this game for people like that?
Yes.
Play the game. Don't be an idiot. It's a game. Call it a day. So, but for people who maybe that got scared off by the competitive side, there's a lot more out there for you. There's a lot... The competitive side's not as scary or as time-consuming as it looks. There's a lot of time-saving tricks that you'll learn over the years, such as nature settling, which is settling on a nature that maybe not the best, but it'll function for your needs. It'll just work because you just don't care enough. So, like, a lot of people settle on neutral natures because it's the quickest and easiest way. I've done it a lot.
Yeah.
The other thing is, like, you may want to consider, if you've never done it, putting your foot into this deep end and seeing if the water's nice. For some people who may not have a lot of time, see if you have friends willing to raise a team for you properly, and the best thing to do is pick the Pokemon yourself, and then put in the moveset yourself, having them do the difficult part and the time-consuming part. But other than that,
that time consuming anymore.
Trade with people, battle, finish the Pokedex, do whatever you want. If you want to try to enter competitive, build your own team. If you EV train. If you want to, don't. Nothing's stopping you from being you. They've tried to nail that into you during the entire story mode, being like, do whatever you want. Like, Seymour was like, you want to go collect Megastones? Go collect Megastones. You want to go fill the Pokedex? Fill the Pokedex. You want to go be the best at Battle Mazing? Go be the best at Battle Mazing. You want to go sit at home and do nothing? You have that option.
Being the best is your own definition.
You can literally, in the game, sit at home and just talk to your mom all day. You can talk to the stupid
It's
bird, or
entirely
you
possible.
can play in bed, or you can play on your computer. This game has made that possible. You can do whatever you want in this game.
Yeah.
It's very open. All we have to do now is combine it with Animal Crossing, and we have the world's best game.
You make it open world. Done.
Open world MMO.
Open world MMO. That's
Open
the
world
best. That's the
Animal
next evolution of
Crossing.
Pokemon.
Animal Crossing X Pokemon. Somebody make it.
Yeah, somebody make that. Okay, Nintendo, I don't care. Television Systems, I don't care. Freaking Way Forward, please. So when
They've
by the
already-
way, I just got random Fennekin. Great.
But
They've already tried putting a little bit of Harvest Moon in with the berry farm.
No, that's berry farming. They just tried to streamline it, which is understandable considering how terrible it was to begin with.
And now it feels like Harvest Moon.
I don't really care.
Without the girlfriends.
I thought that would be kind of interesting if you could actually date in the game or something like that.
Oh god, that would be awesome.
Uh-oh, we're getting a little adult here for the
Oh, dating!
by Pokemon
I
standards.
know kids that don't know what that is yet. Jeez, this show has an 18+ warning. There's a reason for that. For fuck's sake.
By Pokemon standards.
By Pokemon standards, we should have no. By all standards, we shouldn't have kids watching our show. If you're watching this show, I congratulate you. You've actually bypassed the warning. Your parents must think highly of you. No. I think we better wrap it up. So,
Yes. Yeah, let's wrap it up.
thank you all for joining us. If you're a viewer, thank you for sitting and watching our stupidity for an hour or so. If you want to, thank you, Stephanie, for being our guest.
Yeah,
Yay,
it chatters so much.
We'll be having one more guest for
Round of applause.
our Pokemon Guest Month. And that will be all. Remember to leave a comment on whether or not you want Connor to remain in the group, because we're still doing that. We do have him as a probationary new member. So, yep. And thank you, Pam and Pikmin, for joining us, and we will see you all next time.
Bye bye, guys.
Bye.
Yo, bye.